So as a Nebraskan, the farmers predominantly voted for the current president. They also voted for Pete Ricketts and Deb Fischer, who aren't doing anything for them. And China announced that they're not going to buy corn and soybeans today, or I think they've done it over the last couple days. I think it was last week, because of the trade war their current president that they voted for decided to wage, a trade war with China. They're not going to buy your goods. And I know that a lot of you have said that you want aid. Well, as a taxpayer who lives in Nebraska who did vote for the right candidate, I don't think I want my tax dollars going to bail you out. I think you actually should sit in your decisions and feel the effects. You want us to. Every time we vote for a Democrat and you say they're horrible. So at this point in time, I'm going to tell you the same thing you say to me back. You wanted to vote for this. Now you get to deal with the consequences. And I don't think I should have to bail you out, because I work hard for my money too, and my dollars shouldn't bail out your bad decisions. So yeah, today I'm telling you, the farmers here in Nebraska, you need to deal with your own decisions. It's your consequences, not mine, and I don't want to pay for them.
I'm so excited for everyone to call me a bad person again in my comments, but guess what? I do not care about Nebraska going bankrupt in 6 months. I do not care. I do not care. Maybe a few other of those red states should go bankrupt in 6 months so the blue states can swoop in to save them, so they can understand that we are not the bad ones. We are not the poor ones. We are not the ones who cannot survive under the orange turds' crazy policies. But you know why I don't feel bad for Nebraska? You know why? Because I believe I heard 65% of their workforce is undocumented people, which means they're not coming to work anymore, which means work's not happening, which means all the farmers in Nebraska are going to go bankrupt because they all went out there and voted against their neighbors. 65% of neighbors who are immigrants, okay? Fuck around and find out at this point. You know what I mean? And of course, I do feel bad for those blue people in Nebraska who did not vote for this. So unfortunate. That's what you get for being racist and not wanting immigrants in this country, even though they're paying taxes and contributing. So
not the Nebraska farmers going bankrupt by voting for Donald Trump. Like, I don't give a shit. You guys voted for it. Fucking take the consequences. Fuck you guys.
So maybe this is another unpopular opinion, but I feel like you should have to live with the repercussions of your vote. And if you don't want to live with the repercussions of your vote, maybe you should actually vote a different way. But if you do vote that way, then you should have to live with that repercussion of your vote. And if it causes you to go to bankrupt and for you to lose everything, then so be it. That is on you. So I hope going forward that you've learned from this and that you will vote a different way and vote for something that actually is for your best interest. Most likely you probably won't. I guess we'll see.
Nebraska farmers going bankrupt in the next few months is not something that you will even wish for your enemies, because the hunger that will rise in this coming months will be on a high side for the people of Nebraska. The pains, the poor state of the country will be nothing to write home about. Honestly, they need help at this point. But they brought it upon themselves, just like what those people that reacted said in the video you guys watched earlier on. You might be like, what are they finding difficult? Cost of farming, cost of keeping the farm to be together, cost of keeping things to be together. The farming tools, hiring of tractors, hiring of bulldozers, buying of fertilizers. It's no longer easy to come by now. They are finding it difficult to handle all of these expenses. They are paying double taxes even as farmers. And you think they are happy. They are not happy, I must tell you guys. But they are reaping that which they sowed, which is quite unfortunate. And I feel for them honestly. What is the way forward? That is the question right now. But who will answer the question? Nobody.
It's Joe from Georgia. So we're getting ready for the first domino to fall, and we know what happens after the first one falls. Well, the state of Nebraska, the governor, Jim Pillen, has asked the federal government for help because they're not going to be able to pay their bills this year. And here's the problem in Nebraska. They had over a $2 billion contract with the Chinese government to export soybeans to China. Well, out of that $2 billion, they've canceled all the contracts. So out of that $2 billion, $350 million was state revenue taxes. They're not getting any of that. And the governor also goes on to say that because the migrant farmers weren't able to work in Nebraska this summer, that those people didn't pay their taxes either. And the farmers who already have crops in the ground, folks, they've already spent their money. They're going to need help too because they're not getting any money from the contracts anymore. So Nebraska is the first state. And when you look at the Midwest, you're probably looking at Kansas, you're looking at Iowa, South Dakota, all of those places that are large exporters of grains to China and depend on migrant farm labor. They're not going to be able to pay their bills either. So here's the first one to fall. But of course, as we do know, a certain person in a certain house in Washington, D.C. at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, they know all about bankruptcy. I'm sure they'll be able to help.
When we talk about people not having sympathy for MAGA farmers, it will look like exaggerating things. I remember 2 years back when election was coming up, these are the set of people that came together and called themselves MAGA. They came together and called themselves MAGA. They came together to make America great again. Now they have put everybody in this mess. They are facing ×2 of what other people are facing. And you think people will be happy with you guys? You think people will pardon you people? You think people will forget easily? People don't forget easily. You think some people are now having short memory of what you did last 2 years? No. It's quite unfortunate that you guys are facing it and other people are facing it with you all too. But let's learn our lesson in all these things that are happening right now. MAGA farmers are finding it difficult right now. Special credit to all the original owners of the videos used in the creation of this video. This is solely for analysis and for educational purposes. Do well to like this video, do well to share to your friends and loved ones, do well to subscribe and tell us what you think in the comment section. This is a means for you to voice out and tell us what you think. Are you Team MAGA or are you former MAGA and you have resigned? Which angle are you in now? We'd love to know. We'd love to know because there are a whole lot of MAGA voters that are denouncing that they are MAGA of a thing. There are a whole lot of MAGA voters that are no longer in support of them being MAGAs anymore. You can imagine. So, share in your input. Tell us what you think in the comment section because at this point it is highly needed. You might not know who is reading. You might say your mind and the person will come to your aid in the comment section. Like the video, share to your friends and loved ones. But stay happy at the back of your mind that whatsoever MAGA are facing right now, they brought it upon themselves. I will keep saying it. They brought it upon themselves, yes. But we will not keep hammering on that. We will not keep beating them. We will not keep flogging them because I believe they've learned their lessons. I believe they've picked corrections and they have moved on. Do want to share your views in the comment section. Tell us what you think and see you all in our next video. Till then, bye.